Yo, what's up? Today we're going to go over one of my fails. We're going to go over the gear, the skill points, the attributes, the inventory, timestamps down below so you can skip around. I'm going to be ranting up front, and then there's going to be gameplay towards the end.
God and Batman.
This character came to be because it's something that I wanted to try. I had a bunch of gear, and I just kind of pieced her together. It was something that I thought could possibly play really well and be really niche. And it started with this shield. I saw somebody with a similar shield, and with my Telezon, I decided to try it out. And I was using this shield with these gloves for faster cast rate. And the idea was to kind of throw some poison down and then teleport around and, supplement the bow damage with some poison damage. And the thing was, I wasn't really happy with with my Telezon. I was more happy with having like knockback gloves instead of the faster cast rate in this slot, and did some more research on my own. So, other than the normal, full Trang Necro or like a poison werewolf, I was like, what if I still stuck these on a Zon? How much poison damage could I pump out? Since I had like these two expensive things of this build. I mean, this isn't expensive, but I had this and this. So these are the two more expensive items of this build. And I had a bunch of, Grand Charms, and I did have an Annihilus, but I got rid of it. So the idea behind this character was to throw down some poison javelins in a, in dueling, and then run away and see if you could just poison them down. You get quite a bit of poison damage. So this is 78,000 damage with poison. So I was like, you know what? If you optimize just the poison damage and lay something down, right? How much damage could you possibly do? Like what type of numbers are we looking at? So a little bit of glitchy there. But yeah. So with this much damage, if I'm doing 8,000 damage with poison and then 70,000 with plague javelin, right? What if I hit somebody once, how long could it take them to die? And then if I just snipe them down a little bit with some bows, like the bow damage doesn't have to be quite as high. It just would have to have a higher attack rating, was my thinking. So I swapped out a lot of her gear because a lot of it's muled or it went to a different character. And, something that I try before doing a PvP character is, try, player versus monster and seeing how well it does on different difficulties. Where does it hold up? And, PVM doesn't really necessarily cross over to PvP. It could be really terrible PVM character, but be really strong with PvP. So that was the thought behind this, is just stack a bunch of poison damage and see if I could just pump out damage that if anyone got a little bit close to me, they would just, die really quickly, or at least get really, really low health and then just hit them down with some magical arrows, not even guided arrows, just magic or multi-shot. Because if you have one life and you get hit once, even with, 100 damage, 100 is greater than 1, even with any sort of damage reduction type stuff going on. So, as I said, the shield, we went with 3 poison faceted shield of deflecting for a higher block rate and increased blocking. The reason why it's in a tower shield is for lower strength requirement. This way you only need to hit 75 strength instead of like twice this amount for a Monarch if you went with an extra 5% damage. Um, the strength really matters because, you know, I was using this Harmony Bow, as I said, to kite away more. Um, in order to kite away, it gives you the Vigor aura, and it gives you +3 to Valkyrie, which I thought would be helpful in a PVM setting, plus or PvP setting, plus fire, lightning, and cold damage. It gives you a bunch of mixed damage, so that if you encounter, when you encounter people with stacked Sorb, that it'd be hard to Sorb, was the theory behind it. It was in a Shadow Bow base just because that's what I had, and the Shadow Bow base has like a really high dexterity requirement, which is why I'm not wearing it right now. Um, so now that I'm not using the Harmony Bow, I swapped over to a Call to Arms bow, a Grand Matrion bow with 5 to battle orders, 2 to battle command, 4 battle cry, and like a mid-roll enhanced damage. It's not even like a perfect base. Yeah. Moving on with gloves, as I said, Trangs, and just the Trangs, it gives you 25% skill damage. It also gives you cold resistance. Titans, because there's nothing, hardly anything is going to outbeat a Titans. The Ethereal Titans ups your damage more than regular, like a non-upped version. This is the non-upped ceremonial bow. You can up it to matte javelins. And it also has a high roll on the lifesteal. Perfect enhanced damage is 200, so this is 23 away from that. Faster run walk, really important, right? Really important to be able to walk around really fast. When she did have, yeah, so you can choose, if you do want to try out a character like this, you can choose between having 15 strength points that you don't have to use to get up to, I think this is the highest strength requirement, is the V-Wing helm. Also faster run walk, faster hit recovery, and 2 to Zon skills, really important. Really hefty defense as well. This was great because as a Zon, you're not really teleporting. This is like in replacement of a circlet, and it also has the faster hit recovery. So, if I wanted to, I could probably put a poison facet in that, and that would up the damage another 5%. But I like trying things as I go. I don't like trying to put all these facets in the shield for exactly this character's problem, which is she doesn't function as well. Anyway, not to get distracted, you can choose between saving 15 strength points to use all your gear, or you can use all those boots, which gives you quite a bit of life, as you can see here. Gives you more life than the 12 vitality on here, and then I think if you use battle orders, which I can't without these boots here, so let's. Right, you're getting much more life with all those boots, and you're also able to run faster. But anyway, for this build, I went with... Get out of here. I went with Trek boots, not just because of the strength and the vitality, but also the faster hit recovery. You hit a nice breakpoint with the V-Wing as well. The Bramble armor gives thorns, which is cool. 50 faster hit recovery, so there's so much faster hit recovery you're getting from your gear. Which was the other thought behind this of like, okay, you have a high block chance shield, lots of faster hit recovery. You're able to run really far, really fast. But it just didn't pan out. You don't have enough life. You know, if Bramble also gives you a max of 50 poison damage, percent poison damage, 30% fire res, and 100% poison res. So poison res is not a problem with Stan, Storm, Trek, and Bramble. This other stuff, the max damage and defense is cool. you know, the max cold res is cool. If you had like an entire inventory filled with res charms, which I don't. T-God's Belt for strength, vitality, and some lightning fury points, so that your lightning fury gets up to 19 just without having to stack a bunch of points into it. We'll go over skills in a sec. Raven Frost is a must have, plus 20 to dex. The cannot be frozen, and the mana is really good. And then this is just another ring that I had that, again, in theory, getting a little extra bow damage with the minimum damage and the dexterity, and almost 100 attack rating with dual res. You know, in theory, could help you out a little bit on both sides with the res and some damage as well. But really, just not in the end. Just didn't help. And Amara's Kaleidoscope. Forgot to mention. Mara's is important for something like this for attributes and the resistances. And then also it gives you +2 to your call to arms. So let's see here. And then, you know, a torch, no Annie, and then this is just some lifer with lightning damage just to mix up some of the damage. And some Grand Charm skillers. This is some max damage, which is giving us around 19 damage and some attack rating. I have some stuff in the stash as well, which we can go over before diving into skills and attributes. You know, another lidless. I'm just holding on to that. And then this is kind of turned into my mule where I just hold all of my javelins in here, and some boots as well. And these gloves are pretty cool if you wanted to try some attack rating or some attack speed, and then some strength. I'm literally just muling this for another character, and this is just, I thought, is a cool E-rep belt with high defense, which I think was left over from another one of my characters. And then, yeah, also this I'm muling. This is muling because these are cool. And this I'm also muling. Great. So in case you were wondering, that's just wanted to go over everything. She doesn't have a Merc that's worth mentioning. The skills here. Let's go over some skills. Magic Arrow. Reason why Magic Arrow is a different type of damage other than multi-shot. Multi-shot is physical. This gives you some magic damage. If you are PVM or PvP, you want a nice mix of damage. Because I'm focusing mostly on Jav skills, I wanted some bow skill just to be able to have some range. And you can see it covers about a quarter of the screen. So I don't have to be as close with some javelins. Now, jab side. Let's go to the javelin skills. You're going to max poison and plague, which is really important. And then for this character, I also wanted to add some points into lightning fury and lightning fury synergies as well. Jab is also a good skill to use in PvP. But as you can see, I did not max these. I just wanted to unlock them and just give this a little bit of a punch so it's not super weak, which it is, you know, but it is. The reason why this failed so hard is because if, in theory, you poison someone, right, and then they have 1 life left, and then Lightning Fury always hits and splits off, right, that it would be an easier task. So there, and it works against PVM if you have the patience. You know, this is hell. I'm level 81, so you could level up much more. But then, you know, pretty much every poison res thing you're up against, so here we go. Yeah. So this is in theory how it would work. You poison someone, and then you strike them down with some Lightning Fury, and you don't have to do that much Lightning Fury damage because they'd have hardly any left after being poisoned. Right? And then let's go. So that's the skill tree. Jab, if they got too close. Again, not able to invest enough points to make it matter. And the passive and magic. So with the passive and magic skill tree, with this kind of build, I added a bunch of points into Valkyrie. I maxed that out as much as I could. And then I put enough points into Evade to at least hit 55. And I unlocked things down this way. Because for PVM, you want to have Pierce. I was using a Razor Tail to be able to 100% Pierce. So here, look. So this is some Poison Res. And with Lightning Fury in Hell, you're able to take them out, which is a good mix of damage. And then if they're not able to, I can still physically attack them. And if they're physical, then I can also use Magic Arrow. So that's kind of a quick demonstration of the thought process behind this PVM and PvP type character. And as you can see, you're so weak. Like you don't have enough life or resistances or defense to be able to do enough versatility. You're just a glass. You're not even a glass cannon. You're just kind of a glass jar of poison that you can kind of throw out, and maybe someone will get poisoned a little bit. Right. I'm very rambly today, so that's what this video is going to be. I hope you enjoy it. For Pierce, you want to hit 30%, especially if you're using Razor Tail, because Razor Tail will give you attacks Pierce, which is 30%. So 30 plus 70. So as you can see, it's at 71 now because I didn't use battle orders before on this character. So now we're 1% over, which is great. Penetrate would be another worthwhile skill of investing for this type of thing for your attack rating. And you wouldn't really want to invest too many points at a critical strike because most of your damage would be coming from your clouds of poison. You're not really... I don't think they have the chance to critically strike. I would be really surprised. And as you would level up, I would put more points into dodge, avoid, and evade. And looking back, I probably wouldn't put as many points into Valkyrie. She didn't really do that much, but I wanted to try some PvP-age or PVM-age. And having a nice tank with you is always good. Now attributes. Pretty much the same as everything else would be. Enough strength to use all of these, which I'm overcapped, which is fine because I wanted to be able to do stuff like this, which clearly doesn't work. So my character's probably strength bugged, which isn't the worst thing in PvP. Dexterity, enough to get max block, which is 75% with this shield on. And if you wanted to go with some harmony bow, please don't go into a shadow bow. Please put it into like literally any other bow, like a diamond bow or a matte bow, or probably like a matte bow. And this should be in a matte bow too, not a Grand Matron bow, because you don't have any increased attack speed at all. So whatever base weapon you're using is just going to be, because you're not going to want to switch out to like a cat's eye, and you're not going to want to put increased attack speed jewel in here. You'd probably just want a poison facet in here. No points into energy, and all of your points into vitality. So even with a high max block dexterity and, not that many points into strength, this is providing so much of my strength. Here, what's my base strength here? What else is even giving strength? There's nothing else. What? Is there something giving like 1 strength? Yes. Yes, this charm that's giving 1 strength. Okay, right. So base strength is 66 with all these other goodies. And Titans gives plus 20 strength, which enables us to use Sandstorm strength, Sandstorm Trek. My goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied. And T-Gods, which gives 20 strength. So it allows us to use our gear. 125, 4. So I could go a little less strength, but again, it's not going to matter too much. Right, okay, so now for some gameplay. I am going to be chugging mana potions non-stop. I don't have... Oh, you're... Of course I don't have any gold. Your mana leech doesn't even work on this character because the poison clouds is mostly how you kill monsters, and that doesn't leech off of, you know, that doesn't leech. You could do mana per kill, but you're getting 1 mana per kill, and that's not really going to help you too much. Here we go. Let's sell this stuff real quick. And maybe fast forward. As you can see, I am slumming it, not able to buy mana potions on my mule. Okay, so always do battle command first. And then we'll switch to Valkyrie, battle command her, then battle orders for us both. Multi-shot on the right click, magic arrow on the left click on the bow side, and poison javelin and lightning fury on this side. Okay. So poison, I like poison javelin over plague javelin because you're able to lay down your poison damage rather than having to wait for plague javelin to... So, like, let's give an example. So the cooldown timer on plague javelin is so long that if you're able to just lay down a bunch of clouds of poison, to me that's more, you know, I feel like that's the smarter way to go. Now that being said, that was the biggest downside to using this character, was, you know, poison clouds, like, that's great. Like, that works great for PVM, right? You can see the monster walks towards you, and you poison them as they approach you, and then you lightning fury them, and they die. Right? It's pretty straightforward. In PvP, you're not able to necessarily predict where your opponent's going to be, and I'm going to do this just in case. You're not going to be able to predict where your opponent is, especially if they have teleport or if they have a lot of faster run walk charms. You're not what ended up happening was the javelin itself was not able to move fast enough. Like, look at how fast the javelin moves across the screen. Right? And then it takes a second for the cloud to actually come out. So you have to kind of lay the clouds down and then run in the cloud wake and get someone to walk through it. But if they're smart enough, they just will walk around it and try and kite you. And because you don't have that much defense, you don't have you know, your defensive strategy is really low. You just die really easily. Also, I don't have enough plus to skills on my base that I have to rebattle order every few seconds. How long does this last? Every minute and 20 seconds or whatever the timing is. Guided arrow. There's no guided arrow on this character, and if there was, it wouldn't do that much damage. There's no knockback, as you can see. This magic arrow is not doing so much damage. Let's switch over to multi-shot. Multi-shot isn't doing much either. Right? poison. That's not so bad. Let's look at the poison damage over time. Not too shabby. But again, so thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me as we go through this. I don't have any scrolls of identification. Get out of here, all those brutes. Get out of here. I want to see what this phase blade is before we go, since it was a chill, rambling video. Yeah, great. It's nothing. See ya. Goodbye. I can't even repair my gear. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to thank you for joining this video. I want to thank you for, listening to how my thought process is when going through characters, because I feel like that's really important. Rather than just following a guide and just being like, well, this is what the guy said to do. Sometimes I think it's fun to try something out for your own, even if it doesn't work out. And then like, okay, if I wanted to do some heavy poison damage, maybe not do it with a bramble base, maybe do a chain of honor or enigma so that you can teleport faster. Like maybe if you did an enigma armor with like a rack and then like Griffin's Eye helmet, maybe you could teleport around really fast and then your poison damage could be supplementary and maybe more of your damage comes from lightning fury and you have like a 220 Zon amulet or something for PvP. But yeah, thank you for joining. There's more videos out there. I'm gonna link one right here, over there, right over there. Just click this one, and it'll have more fun, a little bit stronger. But I do want to mix in some of these weaker characters because sometimes it's hard to tell how strong a character is when you're looking at these things, especially online. It's like, all right, well, I mean, it seemed to clear this area pretty well, but so this is going to be a bonus. I'm going to end the video here officially, and then there's going to be like an end title thing where I try and walk through chaos. Hit the subscribe button if you want more Diablo 2 content. Hit the like button if you liked chilling out and going through what a poison Javelin Zon looks like. See you in the next video.